Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 6 de Secret Files Tunguska. O pai de Nina não estava no trem e após um grave acidente, ou teria sido sabotagem, ela foi parar num hospital militar. O Max, com a ajuda do Oleg, voou até lá e agora está tentando libertá-la. Só resta ela passar as coisas de volta para o Max, já que ela está num impasse aqui. E o Max tem a perna plástica da mesa, a seringa, o sonífero. Acho que ele deve fazer uma zarabatana.
I'll take the back of the syringe off. The needle and its attachment should then be light enough for me to use it as a dart in my blowpipe.
Agora colocar isso com o remédio.
If I touch this needle now, our little adventure will come to a pretty fast end.
Agora ele prende o guarda lá e pela janelinha da porta de segurança ele atira a flecha envenenada. Não, é só chutar essa coisinha aqui.
Crap. How did that happen?
Agora, zarabatana.
That guy is making a hell of a noise. I'll have to get him to shut up very quickly. I think that with such a hectic job, a little bit of peace won't hurt the guard.
Ouch! What was that?
So, I'm rid of him for now.
Tá, agora posso bisbilhotar aqui. Quadro de anúncios.
A pin board with thousands of small notices, some instructions, naked women, telephone numbers, but nothing that brings me any further. I'll take the thumbtacks with me, but the bulletin board can stay where it is.
Ah, ele pegou uma taxinha aqui.
An unbelievably unique, fantastic thumbtack. Either a live broadcast from the Antarctic or the effects of adjusting the satellite dish.
Mais nada aqui. Prato.
Cheese soup. Theoretically very delicious, but theory and practical life are very often rather far apart.
Queijo pro rato da cela da Nina. Mas ele não pega o prato.
The soup is so watery that I'll lose most of it moving around, and then I'll stink of cheese for the rest of my life.
Vai ensopar a esponja.
The sponge sucks itself full of soup.
Agora a Nina vai poder pegar o rato, sei lá pra quê, né? Mas vai pegar. Ou pelo menos vai atrair, né? Subimos agora. E se ele sobe e a liberta, não precisa nada disso.
So, this is where the second guard is sitting. I almost landed in his lap. One more step and he'll notice me. I've got to think of something to distract him.
É, tava fácil demais. Tá, é por isso que ela vai ter que atrair o rato. Vai ter o plano B. Isso. A perna da mesa. Bisturi, será? Vai, depois ela devolve.
First of all, I need the bait before I construct any fiendish traps.
Vai fazer uma armadilha pro rato.
Tying things together seems to be becoming a new hobby of mine.
Aqui a isca, né?
Looks like it could work as a trap. Stress on the could.
Tá. O prato com a coisa.
Without any bait, the best trap in the world is useless.
Não precisa me dizer isso, mas é que eu ia pôr a isca depois.
Whatever it is in there, if it is attracted to the smell, it'll grab its prey and disappear. It doesn't make much sense, really, does it?
Eu tenho que juntar as duas coisas, então, agora? Também faz
If it
sentido.
is really true that mice and rats like cheese, then this aromatic piece of foam rubber must be the perfect bait.
Tá, agora tá tudo montado, vai dar certo. Finalmente. Se ela não me tirar sarro de novo.
The big game hunt can begin. Then let's have a look and see what we've caught.
Pronto, agora eu tenho um rato. Um rato! Um rato! Max, pegue um rato aí. E o bisturi que você pode precisar. E a armadilha? Não, a armadilha não passa no buraco. Tá, agora eu distraio o guarda com o rato. E quando ele sair atrás do rato, eu ponho a taxinha com sonífero na cadeira dele.
Run as fast as you can and keep the guard busy for as long as you can. Good luck.
Just you wait, you little beast! I'll get you!
I'll put this thumbtack under the cushion so that the guard doesn't get suspicious.
Damn! That rat just slipped away from me! But wait, I'll get you next time! Ah! Spivak, you're a rat as well! But I'll get you too!
All is quiet. I hope the dose was strong enough. A bunch of keys.
Já pegou as chaves. Era para ele examinar o guarda. Mais alguma coisa para pegar aqui? Não.
The door is locked.
Max, quick! Get me out of here!
Hang on a moment. I've nearly done it.
Tem que usar a chave, né, espertão?
I'm really happy to see you, and thanks for...
My pleasure, noble princess. Come on now, we have to go.
I'll just get my things together. Hopefully those guys haven't grabbed everything. Thanks, you two. I would hate to think what would have happened if you hadn't come along.
You don't have to, but we wouldn't let you rot anywhere in the sticks.
I knew that I could rely on you.
Anytime. If I had to, then I would even...
Could you postpone the niceties until later? We should get going. The people in the hospital are bound to notice your absence soon.
Yeah, I'm ready. Although,
What?
we must be really close to where my father used to set up camp on his earlier expeditions. Am I right?
Yes, that's true. But we really don't have any time for that. The hospital belongs to the Russian military, and when they sound the alarm, it will get extremely uncomfortable around here. We should first get out of here, and think about how we want to proceed along the way.
But...
No buts. The risk of landing here in the first place was already big enough. We are going. Max, I need your help to get the airplane ready for liftoff.
Oleg is right. We've got to get away from here first, and then we'll see what happens. Go on, get your things out of the Jeep and come.
Ela tá se enrolando lá, demorando.
Attention! Attention! An alarm has gone off in the neighboring military hospital. A female patient who is considered extremely dangerous has escaped. The military has been notified and several soldiers are on their way here. Until they arrive, no one is allowed to leave the airfield. Everyone is ordered to be on high alert. No one will be permitted to take off or land.
Damn, they're looking for me already. What now? We'll meet here in a few hours.
É. O ricaço aí.
I hope you have good news.
Unfortunately, no. Kalenkov is still missing.
I'm waiting for the good news.
Well, at least the others haven't found him yet either.
We are running out of time. The preparations for the project are almost finished and everyone is waiting for you to finally find the missing piece of the puzzle.
I'm doing my best. What should I do if...
Concentrate on his past. Someone has to know about Kalenkov's research, and if he can't tell us his secret himself, then others will just have to do it for him.
Hopefully Max and Oleg are all right. I suppose they weren't born yesterday. They'll get along with the soldiers somehow. And exactly how are we going to get away from here again, I don't yet know. We can brainstorm that later. In the meantime, I can try to find the camp from which my father started his expeditions. The thing is, where do I look? Apart from this tent, I have found no signs of human existence. Hopefully I can get some help here.
Anotações no diário. Presente e passado, região de Tunguska. O lugar onde se produziu a explosão de Tunguska, há quase 100 anos, deve estar perto. Isso significa que o pai de Nina esteve aqui também em suas expedições. Mas onde, exatamente? Pode ser que a busca de pistas no passado projete alguma luz sobre a obscuridade do presente.
There will be everything one needs to survive in there.
Primeiros socorros.
First aid? Only first aid for alcoholics. 1 bottle of vodka and nothing else. No bandages, no painkillers. Apart from the vodka, of course.
Nada além da vodka. Primeiros socorros.
This is obviously what is considered in the area to be a comprehensive, all-purpose first aid measure.
Ketchup.
A tomato ketchup sachet. With any luck, it may also have some natural ingredients in it. It's a pity that civilization has progressed even into deepest Russia.
Mais nada aqui no veículo. Tem uma pá aqui.
It makes a very solid impression.
Já pode fazer escavações.
A beautiful animal. Wouldn't it make a wonderful bedside rug? The fur is quite soft. It would definitely... Don't look at me like that, or I'll put my thoughts into action. The trough is empty. Clearly, nobody seems to take very good care of the animals.
Tá sem comida, a rena.
Through a small hole in the lid, you can see that it's almost full of water. A small plug stuck in the barrel. If I pull the plug on that barrel, its contents will seep into the ground.
Vai ter que fazer caminho aqui para a água não ir pro chão.
Sorry for simply barging in like this, but I'm looking for...
Medicine. Parchment. Burnt.
What? Which parchment? And what kind of medicine? I don't understand. The old guy seems to be in a kind of semi-conscious state. I'm not at all sure if he can even hear me. Obviously, he needs some kind of medication. I'll take a look around. The fireplace is already cold. This grill is rather rusty.
Pegou a grelha. Pedaços de pergaminho.
The fire hasn't completely destroyed the parchment, but it is pretty charred and brittle. These bits of parchment have been so badly fire damaged that they'll fall apart if I pick them up. I'll have to restore them somehow.
Como que restaura pergaminho queimado? A Bá com certeza deve saber. Tesourão.
I have a different concept of sharp.
Borla.
One of those things comprising of 3 billion threads. They all look as if they're about to fall apart. I'll be very careful that... One of the threads has come loose. I don't need any more of them, so I'll leave the tassels where they are.
Tá, então ela tem esses fios aqui, essas cordas.
A short woolen thread.
Barbante.
I have a different concept of sharp.
Uma grelha oxidada, uma pá. Ketchup.
The old man doesn't look very well. I'm not going to get any further on my own, and if he doesn't get his medicine soon... I need your help, old man.
Sin.
In his condition, I am hardly going to be able to talk to him. I'm afraid he's going to fall into a coma at any time.
Caneca.
A simple tin cup. A simple wooden cooking spoon.
Colher de pau.
A strange creature with its mouth open. It seems to be some type of nutcracker.
No.
The old guy obviously doesn't want me to take the statue. I'd better leave it here.
Ah, o remédio do kit de primeiros socorros.
A large case, probably for provisions.
Que tal quebrar essa caixa?
Then I'll get on with my favorite hobby and start destroying things.
Ela é que nem eu. É o meu estilo de jogo esse. Sai quebrando tudo só no sapatinho.
And this is all that this spade and I leave over from the case.
Tá, agora eu tenho umas tábuas de madeira aqui. Árvore.
The tree is ancient. It must have survived the catastrophe undamaged, but that was 100 years ago. Only the bark is flaking off. But that would happen to me after a century as well.
Posso arrancar essa casca de árvore aqui também? Meu esporte favorito?
I definitely won't fell the tree with that. I'll limit myself to the bark. A huge bit of bark.
Cortiço. Resina.
Pretty sticky, this stuff.
Na caneca? Pedra.
A sharp stone.
Tomateira.
A failed and abandoned attempt to plant and raise a tomato plant, known to the biologist as Solanum lycopersicum. For others, love or paradise apple, a member of the nightshade family. What should I do with this drought victim?
Genciana.
Siberian gentian leek. Seems to be the only plant that flowers around here. I have no idea if it is under protection, but it is so pretty that I would really like to make an exception and leave it in one piece.
Cadê a pá? Não dá pra cavar ali e tirar da...
I know. They're under the protection of nature conservation laws. I'll be very careful.
Genciana, pedra, copo com resina.
That stuff stinks. It looks and smells like there's sulfur coming out of there.
Geyser aqui, dá pra esquentar as coisas. Vou esquentar a taça com resina.
The resin will probably burn into the cup. That won't help me much either.
Não. Quer dizer, é pra fazer isso, mas ela não quer fazer já. Tem que pôr outra coisa aqui. Com a vodka? Não. Não combina com nada essa taça. Vou ter que fazer alguma coisa antes. Será que é pôr a água ali do barril?
The barrel has a fitted lid, and therefore I can't get it off.
Primeiro consertar o caminho aqui, então. Tá. E agora... Pensei que as tábuas vinham aqui também para consertar o coxo. Abriu a água ali.
That poor animal is drinking as if there were no tomorrow.
Agora ela põe água junto com a resina, tá?
Resin at the bottom, water on top, and cup surrounding it all.
E a vodka? A vodka fica de vodka mesmo aqui. Esquenta agora a resina com a água. Não tem que mexer? Não. Pega de volta. Ai, 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 minha mão.
Through heating, the water and the resin have mixed. The resin is almost runny now.
Ah, resina pro pergaminho, boa. Mas ela não tá pondo aqui. A pedra afiada com a tesoura.
Not really the superlative in whetstones, but these scissors can't get any blunter. And how's that? It now cuts more than butter.
Ah, agora a tesoura afiada com a genciana? Não. Com nada. Ah, com a rena? Ah, você vai cortar o pelo dela. Não vai matá-la.
Easy there, boy.
Agora sim.
It reeks a little bit, but it's relatively soft.
Agora isso com a resina? Não. Nem com a genciana, nem com isso. Com o fio barbante.
I've tied the hair into a sort of ponytail.
Tá, então agora o pincel com a resina passa nos pedaços de papiro. Não, ainda não é isso. Ah, o pincel prende na colher de madeira.
If I take the spoon, the hairs, and this thread, and I... Hey! It works!
Agora fez um escovão aqui.
It will never be a masterpiece of contemporary art, but it will serve its purpose admirably.
Sim, agora com resina.
The resin is still runny enough to paint with.
Então agora vamos fazer o que a Bá queria desde o início.
If I paint the resin very carefully over the parchment pieces... It worked! 5 parts of the source of life, 2 parts of root of tears, 1 part blood of the night, 3 parts drops of intoxication, to be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient. Hey, old man, wake up. Is this the recipe for your medicine? It really does seem to be the recipe. The old guy wants me to prepare it in this vial. I'll have to hurry preparing his medicine. He's not going to hold out for much longer. The shepherd gave me this small vial. I believe he wants to have his medicine in there.
Tá, vamos colocar água então.
Five parts from the source of life. Got it.
Vodka.
A few drops of the intoxication.
Genciana.
The plant will hardly fit in there.
Ketchup.
Ketchup is made of tomatoes. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family. That could be the connection to the blood of the night reference. I'll try it.
Então agora ela vai finalmente esmagar a genciana. Colocar o vaso ali e a planta agora.
Well, that must be the right doses, depending, of course, on the bulb being meant as the root of tears.
Não, é para pegar o vidro, não é para pegar a estátua. Agora tem que ferver.
Hopefully this witch's brew doesn't blow up in my face. I have no idea when the stuff is ready, but before it all evaporates... Evaporate! That's it! To be taken before it unites with the wind. Then the medicine must be finished. Drink, old man. I hope that helps.
Thanks.
My pleasure. What happened?
A little difference of opinion with the guards.
Guards? From the research station?
Yes, Oh, it's not important.
Not so important. You nearly died.
But I'm alive. And you aren't just here to help me, are you? You have some questions.
Yes. How did you know?
Your eyes betray you. The eyes betray everyone. And your eyes, I know your eyes. They were here once a long time ago.
Me? I was most certainly not.
Yes, they were. But they weren't in the body of a young woman. You're the daughter of... What was his name again?
Vladimir Kalenkow? You know my father?
Yes, Vladimir was his name. He came to me back then like you are today, with the same eyes.
I need your help. If you knew my father, then you can also tell me what happened here all those years ago.
I'm only a shepherd. I've always been a shepherd, and I will remain a shepherd for the rest of my life.
But...
I know my place in life, and you should know yours too. Listen to the words of a simple man. My son didn't listen to me.
What do you mean?
You want to know what happened here almost 50 years ago, and what is happening here today. My son was also curious. He didn't want to listen to me. He found a strange piece of metal in the woods, and he asked questions. The wrong questions to the wrong people. I never saw him again. There are things that we are just not meant for. If we don't realize this...
Old man, your words may be very wise, but my father is in danger and I need your help.
I know. I can see it in your eyes. You really are just like your father. I also warned him, but he didn't want to listen to me either. He entered the cursed realm of the Ogdi, the evil thunderbirds that have been sent to cause endless sickness since the year of the great catastrophe. Your father ignored my warning, and his companion must have paid dearly for it. I know that I cannot stop you, so I will tell you where your father had his camp back then. Follow the northern path until you reach the swamps, and you will find what you are looking for. But always remember my words. Be careful in everything you do. Things happen here that no one can even begin to imagine.
The Evank was right. The atmosphere here is real strange. So unreal. Even if perhaps a good portion of superstition is involved, I have a strange feeling here. And then the story with the Thunderbirds and the endless sickness. Pull yourself together, Nina. You're just exhausted. There are no Thunderbirds, and any phenomenon, no matter how mysterious, can be explained rationally. Hopefully. That must be the site that the old man spoke of. My father started his expeditions from here. Maybe I'll find an explanation here of how the events of the past link with the kidnapping of my father.
Tudo no mundo tem uma ligação. Aquela crítica da resenha, a dublagem, falta de sotaque. O cara queria um sotaque fake para russo, um sotaque fake para alemão, um sotaque fake para inglês, porque se ele queria realismo, as pessoas falariam na própria língua, falariam em russo, e isso ia prejudicar enormemente o jogo, que ia ter que ter tradução para tudo, sem a gente poder prestar atenção no diálogo e na legenda, porque o diálogo não adiantaria nada em russo. E ela teria que falar russo, teria que falar espanhol, teria que falar todas as línguas do mundo para poder viajar. Então a crítica do cara era isso, de não ter como aquele nordestino da Globo, né? Que qualquer novela com nordestino, seja da Bahia, do Sergipe, de Pernambuco ou de onde for, tem o mesmo sotaque global. Então pode descartar mais uma crítica da resenha. A Zona Proibida, região de Tunguska. O ancião Elwenk está ficando bem melhor. Até sobre seu filho, que se dirigiu à área do impacto, desobedecendo os seus conselhos, e encontrou um estranho fragmento. Mais tarde, seu filho desapareceu subitamente. O Elwenk falou também sobre o pai de Nina, que tampouco quis ouvir seus conselhos, pelo que, desgraçadamente, teve que pagar Pérez. Também adverte a Nina. Mas vai desistir agora que se encontra tão perto? Claro que antes de entrar ela vai especular aqui a região.
A generator, supplying the hut with power. There is obviously no more fuel in it. That would have been too good. If I remember correctly, then that thing has something to do with magnetism and producing electricity. A bit of petroleum still seems to be in there.
Pegou lampião.
It looks like a garden hose. Time has been gnawing away at it, but there don't seem to be any large cracks or holes in it. An old drinking water tank. Wow, what a monster! I have to ask, even if I'm talking to myself, how did that thing get here? This has been plundered. Everything that can be taken off and carried is gone. There are only 2 small nuts here, and I am having them.
Caminhão inservível. Tanque de combustível.
There still seems to be a bit of diesel oil in there.
Cadê o tanque de combustível aqui? E agora ela liga a mangueira ao quê? Ao coisa... Não. A garrafa de vodka.
There's still plenty of vodka in there. If I want the one spirit, I think I will have to get rid of the other. Nastarovia! Oops, I think I'm a bit out of practice.
Agora vai ficar bom. Sóbria já não estava dando certo.
The rest of the diesel oil out of that old truck. That must be the research station that the transit train was supposed to be going to. Has it even arrived there at all? The research station is certainly impressive. It even has its own runway, and probably just as impressively secured. I can forget getting in there. I'm not even sure that I want to go in anyway. After all, I have heard and read about this station and the place it was built on. Anyway, the station does radiate a certain fascination. Not a positive one. And the longer I look, the more I get the shivers. I'd better make my way back. There's a lot to do, and I still don't know what secret out of Daddy's past is concealed here.
Pegou caminho errado, não era a hora de ir aí filosofar. Diz que tem muita coisa que fazer antes de ir para lá. Por exemplo, colocar a gasolina aqui.
That's what I call quality craftsmanship. Over 50 years old, and it still works like it did when it came out of the factory.
Mas não
If
tem
I
bobina.
remember correctly, then that thing has something to do with magnetism and producing electricity.
Tinha que ter mais alguma coisa aqui, então. Essas portas aqui? Sim.
I'll hold both nuts close to the coils, but not too close, otherwise I'll be toast. As a result, they seem to have become magnetized.
Ah, era só para imantar essas porquinhas que ela tinha que fazer funcionar isso daí? Que bobagem. Janela.
The small windows are absolutely filthy.
Não tem nada para limpar as janelas. E se as moiras estiverem lá? Ela vai entrando assim?
An 8mm film projector. Considering its age and the fact that it's not professionally handled here, it is not in bad condition. There is no roll of film in there.
Tem que achar o rolo de filme, então. Trapo.
Are shards always broken, or are there whole shards? An interesting question. I'll have to ask my former philosophy professor.
Como dizia meu professor de desenho.
Are shards always broken, or are there whole shards? An interesting question. I'll have to ask my former philosophy professor.
Não sei qual a importância do professor de filosofia ter dito isso.
There is nothing special to see, but then again, it is pitch black in there. A small bit of tinfoil. I'll light the lamp.
Mas não adianta sem poder limpar aqui. trapo. Ah, agora com o trapo vai poder.
An old rag.
Com o trapo vai poder limpar a janela aqui também.
As an obedient little housewife, of course I know what my duties are. There, finished. Shall I make dinner now as well?
Ah, agora ficou clarinho aqui. Um quebra-cabeça, mas a gente não tem indicação nenhuma para ele. É aqui no fogareiro, com certeza. Tem que iluminar e limpar.
The wall is covered in soot. You can't just wipe it over and, hey, presto, clean.
E como que faz então? Se não pode passar o trapo ali. Ficar tentando todas as combinações do mundo. Ah, aqui tem água potável, né? Mas ela não faz funcionar.
That must be a tributary of the stony Tunguska. It's not the river's fault, but I'm starting to hate that name.
Tem o rio, mas o pano não interage aqui, não molha.
The rag is soaked through.
Ah, limpa com querosene.
I would never have dreamed that one day I would clean out a chimney from the inside.
Boa, só que não dá para entender nada do que está escrito aqui. Ah, e meio ou 7,5? 7,5, 3, 10,5, 6.
That's strange. Obviously, the compass needle only moves when I press the button. I seem to have triggered a mechanism, but nothing has happened yet. Nothing happens.
Dez e meio. E depois 3.
This grinding noise sounds like my father's safe at home when I've just tried a wrong combination. I can probably start again now.
Começa com os pontos magnetizados no sul e no oeste. Tá, isso eu fiz certo. Remove. Porca magnetizada no leste. Remove. Então foi 7, foi 3. E eles enganam que tem o meio. O meio não conta, é tudo um número redondo. Aqui eles dizem 10,5, mas na verdade vai ser 10, assim como o 7,5 foi 7. 10,5, norte e oeste. Olha lá, tá no 10, não tá no 10,5. E agora 6, uma porca magnetizada no sul.
secret compartment.
E sem precisar de ajuda. Uezou biribó, biribó, biribó.
There are a few old documents and a roll of film in there. I'll have a look at the documents. Maybe my father left them there. Yes, indeed. He describes that the 1958 expedition apparently could not provide an explanation why the plant growth has changed so much here since the catastrophe of 1908. The discovery of a meteorite, hoped for by the government as a cause of the devastating explosion, also did not materialize. For this reason, neither my father in his function as the leader of the expedition, nor the biologist, Ken Morangi, could provide an unambiguous conclusion, which obviously was not regarded favorably by the authorities. Oh, and they are also briefly mentioning Oleg here, but apparently he was not that important. I guess I'd better not tell him that. Years later, in his function as a geologist at the Academy of Sciences in Moscow, my father examined a strange piece of metal that had been found in the Tunguska region. He then was able to prove its non-terrestrial origins, which breathed new life into the meteorite theory. However, upon further analysis, he and his colleague Manuel Perez discovered traces that indicated that the metal had been worked. When they wanted to publish their discovery in the Kalenkov Expert, it was completely, surprisingly, rejected, and they were forbidden any further examination of the rock. When my father continued to inquire about the happenings in the Tunguska region, he was dismissed from the Academy of Sciences. The last entries are from 1977. Obviously, he and Manuel Perez went to the Tunguska region on their own. They hoped to find additional fragments of that strange material so they could continue their studies. What the goal was and what happened isn't written down in here. In addition, I have this burning desire to know what is going on with this fragment. On the one hand, it's probably not of terrestrial origin, but on the other hand, it was processed. That would mean... The old Evank also said something about his son finding some metal fragment in the woods, and then suddenly disappearing. That would fit in with the fact that my father was even thrown out of the Academy of Sciences due to his analysis. I hope that I will find some more answers on that roll of film.
Por seus próprios meios, região de Tunguska. O pai de Nina foi incapaz de chegar a uma conclusão definitiva sobre a causa da catástrofe de Tunguska durante sua expedição de 1958. Resumiu o resultado de suas análises de um fragmento encontrado na região no informe Kalenkov, no qual assegura que esse composto não é formado por nenhuma matéria-prima que se possa encontrar na Terra, mas que estava trabalhado com ferramentas. Sem embargo, esse informe foi desautorizado nas altas instâncias. Ainda assim, o pai de Nina continuou com sua investigação, encabeçando uma nova expedição em 1977 com Manuel Pérez à busca de novos fragmentos. Vamos a ver uma película.
An old film reel. There must be something exciting on it because such an extravagant hiding place was chosen for it.
Liga.
Damn, the bulb has burned out. It's not possible to just pop around to the shops and get another around this place. So now is the time to think of something else.
Papel laminado. Fusível sempre conserta com papel laminado. E ela tem papel laminado. E tem pedaço de cristal.
I've wrapped the tinfoil around the broken glass. Because of the tinfoil, the shard is no longer transparent. Yep, that should work. Since it's rather dark in here, the light reflected by my modified glass shard should do it.
So, Manuel, the camera's rolling.
Please excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back.
Manuel!
What was that? Lightning? Or sheet lightning? And what happened to this Manuel Perez? That sounded like an explosion. I should see what's going on. Looks as if half the station exploded.
Come on, come on! Move your asses! The intruders have to be around here somewhere. We'll get them. Spread out!
Oh, my head. What was that? Feels like someone sifted through my thoughts.
There's someone up there! Get them!
Damn. I have to get away from here.
Mas cadê? Ah, tá fazendo sozinho.
Thanks. That was close.
No problem. I told you that I would catch you if you were ever standing on the edge of a precipice. What happened? We just saw that some areas of the research station were in flames, and suddenly there were soldiers everywhere.
I don't know much more either. Suddenly, two strange figures appeared in front of me out of nowhere.
From the FSB?
No, they weren't agents. I'm not really sure. This may sound kind of stupid, but I'm not even sure if they were human.
What?
I don't know how I should describe it. It was more like a feeling that I got from them.
What did they want? Did they say anything?
They didn't really speak. It was more like voices inside my head. It was as if they were looking for an answer.
What kind of answer?
I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was as if my head was going to explode. I've never experienced pain like that. And then suddenly, I knew that I wanted to tell them everything. It was suddenly so clear.
You told them everything?
No. Before I could say anything, the soldiers came and the two figures disappeared as suddenly as they appeared. Where are we flying to anyway?
In the meantime, Sergei has found out that your father was never in Moscow. So it almost looks as if the entire trip was pretty much in vain.
No, on the contrary. I'm now sure that my father was kidnapped for some reason that has to do with the Tunguska catastrophe.
How come?
I found some of my father's old documents. If I haven't misunderstood them, he was on the trail of something big, and I have a name, Manuel Perez. He was with my father back then, and we also know approximately where he is now.
Yes, in a mental institution on Cuba. Great lead.
It's gotta be worth a try. And there's another name on the list. This Irish biologist, Ken Morangi.
That's right. I know that I have already asked a lot from you two, and I'm deeply indebted to you. And I would understand...
Stop rambling. What's your plan? You're heading to Cuba and I'm heading to Ireland?
You'd really do that?
You can pay me back some other time. For example, by buying me a cup of hot coffee.
Max, you're a sweetheart.
And don't you ever forget it.
No Uncharted tem algumas cenas assim. Do casal, qualquer casal, e o piloto, que é o amigo do Nathan Drake.
Oleg, I'm not usually like that. But what should I do? Besides you two, I don't have anyone who could help me. And if my father...
It's okay. We enjoy helping you, honestly. So don't worry about us. Concentrate on your dad.
Yeah, okay. We already found the psychiatric hospital. I only hope that this Perez is still here.
Why shouldn't he? But first I have to take care of some formalities. Will you be okay without me?
Sure. I can manage the 20 yards to the reception desk by myself. Go on. I'll be all right.
Okay. See you later.
Fenômeno luminoso, região de Tunguska. O rolo de filme oculto mostra Manuel Pérez e Vladimir Kalenkov em sua expedição. Mas o que são aquelas estranhas luzes? E o que aconteceu com Pérez? Estranho encontro, região de Tunguska. Após uma grande explosão no centro de investigação, Nina tem que enfrentar-se subitamente com estranhas figuras vestidas com túnicas negras. Não articulam palavra, mas ela tem a sensação de poder ouvir suas vozes alto e claro. Vozes na minha cabeça, diz ela. Novos objetivos. O rastro na região de Tunguska termina aqui. Mas o que aconteceu com os primeiros companheiros de expedição de Vladimir Kalenkov? Nina vai procurar Manuel Pérez em Cuba, enquanto Max se desloca por fazer o mesmo ele próprio com o irlandês Ken Morandi. Então é isso. Hoje vamos ficando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.